Hello, everyone. It's Molly. Come on in. I have a new project today, and it's going to be a box. These are the 4x4 boxes that are available in my Amazon link. I've spray painted this a metallic gold, and I painted the top and the sides black. With my Americana Deco Art lamp black. And then I sealed it with triple thick Duraclear mix, which is the formula I've been playing with a little bit, and I'm finding 3 parts triple thick to 1 part Duraclear, but honestly, I'm mixing it. That's approximate because I'm mixing it until I get the consistency where I'm not seeing streaks. I'm still a little thick, getting a couple streaks, so I probably need to add a little bit more Duraclear. I don't... This is the triple thick. And it's so thick. I mean, it really is triple thick. So, that is the one you want that gives it, like, most of the shine. And then this Duraclear High Gloss. These are on my Amazon list. And I will post that in the comments. Okay, so where I'm starting today is with the lid. I always like to start with a theme because it helps me coordinate the tiles to go along with it. We're going to do something a little bit different today with some of the tiles. Not anything brand new that we haven't done. It's one of the techniques I just started that I want to try. So, couple things. So, I just cut out a piece of black Cos clay. Now, I have found using... I have my heat gun on for a reason. I used it all, but this was the black. I bought this in a 1 pound, and it's lasted me a while. And I have one more left. But I have found using Cos clay over Souffle or Primo, because it's a flexible clay, if you ever have any warping issues, which I've run into a lot, this really helps it lay flat. Okay? So, then I did some blue foil. Where were these? Over some black. So I'm doing the diamond shape again that I want. So what I want to do is put down these corners first to make sure that this is going to be completely centered. And I'm going to go ahead and use the Weld Bond. Again, that's on my Amazon list. I can get it open. I'm fighting a cold, so I sound a little funny. Alright, I hope everybody's doing good. Coming off of my son getting married a week ago. Still kind of on a high from it because it was so perfect. And I just love him and his wife so much. And then I get a cold because I think I was burning the candle at both ends, if you know what I mean. So then it's like... Now, I'm just using my finger. You can use a brush. I have a baby wipe right here. This does dry clear. I know a lot of you already work with the Weld Bond, so you're familiar with how it behaves. I will clean this little bit up, though, just because it bugs me, but you don't have to. Okay, 2 more corners. And you don't need to, like, overwhelm yourself with the glue on here. A little bit goes a long way. I mean, I could have used less on that. And you have a little bit of time for some wiggle room with Weld Bond, which is nice because you can adjust things. So like right now I'm just going to get it on here, wipe off my fingers, and then go back in. But you do want to do edge to edge. Like Jeff Morrow on the Food Channel. Crust to crust is a must. Sandwich King. Alright, this glue's not cooperating. Alright. Let me go in here a little bit. Just a little bit. Get that up. They're pretty good. I love doing this technique, and I haven't done it on a box yet, so not one of my 4-inch boxes anyway. I do want this dragonfly to be at an angle, so I'm going to leave it at an angle. Let's get some glue on here. Now, I'm doing something a little different. I'm going to focus on the outside with the Weld Bond. Okay. And I'm leaving this one little space in the center. Because I'm going to put a dab of hot glue on here. So I'm going to have to lay this down quick. But I'll tell you what. The center was kind of popping up. It was warping a little bit. Quick. So I wanted that immediate hold. I think that looks good. My camera is a little angled, so it might not look even to you, but it is even. Okay, let me unplug my glue gun and move it. It's one of those things you could sit here and get finicky with it forever, you know. But I just want it to be perfect. Our little corner here has an issue, so I think I'm going to put some rhinestones or embellishments on the corner. I'm not sure yet, so I'm saving that part. All right, now, let me grab it. I think I want to do ball chain on the corners, because this ties into the center, and I'm not going to be using the lime green color in my tiles. My tiles are all going to be blues. All right, let me get my... Guys, these are just wire cutters that are meant for jewelry. And you can use scissors, but I'm afraid they're going to get ruined after a while, especially with the volume of the amount I go through here. So then I'm going to use diamond glaze for this. This also is on my Amazon page. And you don't need to use the whole bottle here, folks. Just enough. It also dries clear. Okay. So we're going to do all these sides. I'll fast forward this. Okay, guys, so this is done, and I think it looks pretty. I'm gonna set it aside now, but I'm gonna keep it close by because I want to make sure in our next phase I have some mica powders I pulled to see what matches these different blues and green here. So what I have rolled out is a piece of Primo rolled out. It was scrap. You can hardly tell because it's mostly black. But for me, I want it to look black underneath. So this is a Primo, Sculpey Primo, and it's rolled out on a number 3 on my Atlas 150, where 0 is my thickest. So it's thin, but it's not paper thin. Primo stretches once you cut it out, and this one's really soft down here. So I may cut it on the cookie sheet. Regardless, that's how I did this one. Now, I also pulled, this is Robin's Egg Primo. Okay, and I really like how this goes with these colors. So I didn't have to do any color mixing with it. This is becoming one of my favorite colors. And based on previous projects, it bakes up really nice. The color doesn't shift that much, and it's just really, really pretty. So this is a technique that I've been doing for recently that I love. And what I'm debating right now is if I want to put texture down on here, which I think I might. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a texture sheet. This one looks fun. Fans, they kind of tie into the wings. Well, let's give it a shot. Now, I want a certain side down and a certain side up. So I think this is the side I want down. Now, I recommend using a brayer, not your roller. It just gets so much better results. They're not that expensive. They're also on my Amazon list. There's different sizes. This is the 2-inch. And then I just roll this both ways. A little bit of a heavy hand. Really want to get those imprints in there. Now, if you're having a sticking problem like I am, oh no, I didn't. But you can put, just spray it with some water. Just don't overdo it or it'll be sliding all over the place. Now, important step, guys. Remember, you want to pick up your clay. Otherwise, you'll never, this is the time to do it. If you forget and you put mica powders down, you can still do a little bit. But, so, I'm just debating if I really want mica powders down on here yet. I pulled this one. This is small tongue mica powder. These are on my Amazon list too. These are really good. I mean, I prefer Pearlax when I can use it. Oh great, it's not open. But they don't have every color under the sun. They've got a lot of colors. And if you're going to do the Pearlax in the big kit that like I have, you want to go to Walmart. And it's Jaguar Pearlax. And it's the set of, I don't know, 36, 24, no, probably 36. The only thing about this is you really have to get your finger in there deep. And I always recommend using your finger and not a brush. And that's very pretty, and it's not overwhelming. I can still see a lot of the black in here. This was a good print I picked. So I'm just putting this on to get a light. Some light coverage. My whole finger is blue. Like using the side of my finger at this point. And this just takes a hot minute. Okay, so then wherever I got heavy is going in between. I just want to get everything covered. I need a little bit here on the end. Okay, so that's a more of a dull blue than what the actual bottle looks like, but I'm okay with that because it's the background, I think. I have to be. It's done. All right, now I have just some circle cutters here. And I'm just going to punch out like some random circles. These are the Kemper cutters that just punch out. They're really nice. And there's no grooves in the side where it meets. So you get a really clean cut. They're a little expensive, but they're worth it. Those are also on my Amazon list. And I have the circles, squares, and I just got the hearts. Oh, maybe I missed it. I want a smaller one if I have. I do. It's in the bottom of the barrel. Go figure. I didn't texturize these, and you'll see why. Those are almost the same size. Well, let's just start here. I can always punch out more. I'm sure that was boring to watch. Okay. And then I have leftover foil pieces from when I did the corners. Because when I did the corners, I laid out a whole piece. And I cut the rectangle out of it. And so I kept all my scraps. This is great for scraps. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just randomly lay down these circles. No rhyme or reason. Oh my gosh, everything is so sticky down here. It's been 80 degrees during the day. It's gorgeous. It's just in the mornings, it's like 54. And I have to put on my little electric fireplace down here with me. And I think it affects my clay. Wow, these go fast, don't they? That's just almost pretty all by its little self. What else we got here? Okay. I think I punched out just enough, huh? I might need... It's okay, it's deformed. You'll see why. Alright, so now I'm going to take... I have another piece of black here rolled out. Black Primo. It's been sitting here a minute. I gotta run this through again. Sorry. Roll it out into a log. Get it thinned out. And if it's too wide to fit through this way, just go the long way and then fold it in half. That's what I'm going to do. Or into thirds. You don't need a particular size for this one. But because this is glass, I gotta put it on a piece of wax paper. These are also on my list. There's different wax papers. I found some I really don't like. They're too waxy. This one's more of a mix between a deli paper and a wax paper, and they're perfect. So I have them on my Amazon list. They're just hamburger sheets. Okay. You can also use a piece of paper, but I would caution you that it'll suck the oils out of your clay. So you don't want it on there for too long other than just at the moment with what you're working on. Okay, so I'll get this back in the camera in a second. So I'm going to cut some strips. And I'm going to do them with a little bit of an angle to them. I'm going to throw them over some of these. Now, we're going to be making tiles out of these, guys. So, it's going to look really cool, I promise. Just takes a minute. Now, almost. Because we're not going to stop there. But we're going to do something. It's okay if they curl, if they twist. Don't just go with your gut here. Okay, guys? This is abstract. So it's very hard for some people and it's very easy for others. But if you follow what I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong. I don't care what colors you're using. Like, I'm telling you. I'm sorry I get so passionate about this stuff, but I mean, you know what I mean. Like, what I'm saying. You picking up what I'm throwing down? Alright. This, and then I want one more here. And I am out of the camera. So here's what I've been doing while you've been staring at the bottom part. Just making sure all of these are on there. Now, this is my favorite technique, and so I'm going to use it. You take your needle tool, even if you've made your own, and you go by, I'm going just down. Don't have to be right in the center. I'm just going to go through, and I'm going to poke holes in here because we're going to put mica powder on it. Okay? And then we have our third layer with our foil. And I found this color of mica powder that I think is going to look so cool. Let me just do this real quick. Just poke holes all over it. You can do a line, you can fill in more. If you don't want to do this method, put a texture sheet over this before you cut it up. And then you'll have whatever impression you want. Oops. Almost forgot this one. Okay, I got them all. Now, here's how that looks. Okay. Now, I found this green color. Let me bring the lid back over. And it goes really well. It's called tea green. So we're going to use this. I have two colors I want to use. Now I'm going to try and just stay on the black. There, put it in the lid. Just trying to stay on the black, but if it gets on the blue a little bit, big whoop. It's fine. This looks very dragonfly to me, but I have quite an imagination. So, if it doesn't to you, well, sorry. Alright, now. Alright, so that looks kind of cool. I want... more. Because I have a different mica powder I want to use. Let's start here with something. Here it is. Alright, don't mind me, just losing my marbles. So I'm going to start laying down random cut pieces of this foil. By the way, the foil's on my Amazon list. Everything here should be on my Amazon list, even the texture sheets. Okay, because I'm not linking them. Like, you have to go search through it, is what I'm saying. I try to be helpful, but, I mean, there's only so many hours in the day, and I'm working full time. I took quite a bit of time off at the end of the year around the holidays, so we should be doing some really cool stuff around there. And, they never look like you expect, but I'm always so happy. That's the other thing. Don't go in with any expectations. I mean, have a plan. I mean, coordinate your colors. Think about things like that. I really like these blue ones don't have a texture on them. You know why? Because they're really, everything is so texturized. I think it's really helping to just add a deeper depth. Okay, and then I'm going through these scraps like no one's business. Where there are empty spots, I'm sorry, I obviously can't think and do all this at the same time. Put down, fill them in. Because you never know what size tile you're going to be punching out. Now, I may have to do another one of these, but I'm not sure. This is only for the 4-inch box. But tea green's looking like gold meat to me, but whatevs. Running out of leftovers. Usually a little bit goes a long way. Well, this is a little bit. It's all scraps, but I mean... Alright, one more. Sorry, I'm like mesmerized. Okay. Still managed to flat my jaw, don't I? Alright, let me move. Oh, mess. I forgot I put that in the lid. I'm not used to doing that. Baby wipe, wet paper towel, saving grace. Alright, I gotta move these out of the way. I may do a whole nother slab to get a different set, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab a pan, and I'm gonna pull this off of here. Okay, guys, I'm setting this on my pan because, shoot. Check for anything sticking up. I want even tile cuts. So I'm using a 1.5. No, I'm using a 1 by a 1.5. And I'm going to cut my tiles right here on my board. Now I've got 4 sides, right? So I know I at least need 4. Okay, so that's 8. And then I'm going to use this one, which is 3/4 of an inch by 1.5 inches. These are just my go-tos, guys. All right, here's the tricky part. It's just not as clean. It's going better than anticipated. I expected this to kind of be a pain in the rear end. There. And you got scrap clay. Look at that. Those are going to look cool with this. All right. So I'm going to go bake these. And then we got to make some other tiles. So I will be back and we will carry on. Okay, I'm back, Jack. Hey, listen what just happened. I recorded 30 minutes of filming and it wasn't recording and it didn't give me a warning it wasn't. So here we are, and I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I want to let you know what was done. And I sincerely apologize, but I'm not going to start this from scratch again, and it's too late to do that anyway. So thanks for your understanding. So where we left off with this, I added stickles, and I added this blue color I've never used before. It's called Pacific Coast. It's really pretty. And I use that just down the center and kind of up here. And then I use Diamond, which is the one I really is my go-to because I took a little paintbrush and they just went over the wings. And you can still see all the color behind it, but it added so much glitter to it. And then I did the little bubbles here too. The other thing I did, and I don't have a raw piece to show you right now. The only thing I can do is show you the tippy end of this. So this was a little more green and everything's looking a little more blue. And that's because I added this, this is by Prima Articalme, the old denim wax. I know this looks really dark, but I gave it a shot. And guys, it just worked perfectly. So I used that here. And then all of my other tiles are done. I had them all out on my desk for you, but... so these are all done. And I went over with that as well on here. Now, I also cheated a little. The mica powder was getting a little bit lost, so I used this spring green from Inca Gold. It's actually not spring green. It's green yellow. Okay? I used that over some of the places I had put the green tea mica powder. So I needed to do a little bit of work on these, but I'm really happy with them, and they're all varnished, so those are done. I haven't done anything with this, and I might resin it. I wonder if we should just do that right now. This is where I get nervous a little bit. All right, here we go. Let me get my brush. I keep my brush in foil because it, you know, unless it's sitting there for months upon months, it should be totally fine. So I haven't been resining a lot of my stuff. But I want a really thick coat of resin on here. This is going to make it look three-dimensional. This is Decorum UV resin. It's a hard type. I haven't ever had any issues with it. Some people will beg to differ. But this is my tried and true. I have a new one to try that I haven't pulled out yet. Just because I like to try new things with you guys. But that doesn't by any means discourage that I'm not happy with this one. So you just push it to the ends. And you got to look at it from like every angle. I missed a huge piece here. In this, you know, as you can see, it really makes the glitter pop. Looking to see if there's anywhere I missed. I'm putting my head down all over the place. Looks good. I don't see any bubbles. I see a glue strand, which I don't want. Let me get things out of the way. Ooh, I have something else to tell you too. All right, let me put this in my... God, I gotta put the whole thing in here. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. 6:34. So I'm gonna give that a good 10 minutes because I have a really thick coat on it. I'm looking at it under the light and it looks like everything's covered and I don't see any bubbles. That doesn't mean some won't appear. Okay, you know what I was gonna tell you? I bought this Eye Candy Angel Blue because I wanted to try this mica powder. It is $15 or $16. I don't know if it was, I want to say $15.99. Some of them are $12.99. Whatever. It's very expensive. I used it on the background of here. And for clay, I'm saying don't waste your money. Okay, so if you see this and you get tempted, I already tried it for you. Doesn't mean I'm not going to use it because I have this whole big thing now. But I think it might work better in resin or epoxy or a different formula. So I don't want to badmouth this brand. I'm just saying I wasn't that impressed with it on top of Primo Clay. That's all. All right. So then... Oh, gosh. God, I always do that to you guys. I took some Ready Gold Leaf, and I laid out a slab of just Primo clay. And I used the same texture, like that shell texture, that looks like wings to me, like the veins and wings. God, I got little hairs and everything going on here. Anyway, I used that. And then I took Americana Satin Iris. I took Americana Satin Turquoise Waters. And I took Americana Satin Coastal Waters. I also had this blue, but I didn't use it, the sky blue. I didn't think I needed it. So these are not baked yet, but I cut them out, and then I pretty much got cut off, or went to go get something together, and then realized my video wasn't recording. So that's where we are. I appreciate you kind of just going through the process with me of what I did. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments or shoot me a PM on Facebook. My Facebook link will be in the top comment as well. All right, so what's next, you ask? Here's what's next. We're going to take, this is what we cut our shapes out of. We're going to make some tiles out of this robin's egg color. And I'm actually going to get a little bit more. Billy, move. Oh my gosh. Bill keeps sitting right behind me, you guys. Every time I roll my chair, I'm rolling over him. Thank God he's not old, like he can get up and move. So I'm going to roll these out. They need to be conditioned for sure. Okay. And they're sticking because I have a glass desk. And I'm not going to need a whole lot of these, so I don't need to overdo it. But again, this is the robin's egg. I lost half of the wrapper. But I believe it's Primo. Alright, so let's do this. Do this. And this. And I'm going to run all these through together. Again, I'm running these through on a number 3 on my Atlas 150, 0 being my thickest. And I don't have to work my way down with this. Some of you do that, and I think it's great. But I have a manual machine, and so maybe that's what makes it different. I just really don't need to do that. I'm picking up something from somewhere. This one I'm going to roll into a log. It's falling apart. Okay. Put these two together. I think this is good. All right. Now, I need to add some texture to this, and I have an idea. I want to use this Pearl X blue-green. And I also have the Jet Age Studio Creative Arts pigment. Jet Age Studio is on Etsy. Blue Velvet. So I'm not sure. Maybe we'll use both. Maybe I'll add some of this green. Wasn't real thrilled with that. All right, let's find a texture. You know what? I have this one that looks like a miniature version of the bigger textures we were using. So I think I'm going to use this. Now I'm not spraying water down on this, so I may... If you don't want any sticking, spray some water. You don't need to use cornstarch or anything like that. You can just use water. And just take a paper towel and dab up. It dries in a heartbeat. But let's see if this sticks or not. I can see it's all, the impression is good. All right. I lucked out on that. Not the deepest impression, to be honest with you. I'm now going to take it off of my paper so that it's loose and put it back. And then I'm going to take I'm going to stick with my Pearl X. I'm going to have to get some more of this. Wait, I think. Let me try some of this. This one's actually showing up better. All right, we're going with the Creative Arts by Jet Age Studio. If you go to Etsy, search Jet Age Studio, they have a store on there, and then it's their mica powders. And this is called Blue Moon. They're extra sparkly. You're going to pay a premium for these. But I've never thought twice. And I think some of my followers would vouch for me that have bought some of these. Especially when you use it on like black clay. I mean, they're just absolutely gorgeous. But I don't want a lot of contrast on here. Because we have a lot going on, you guys, with the other stuff, the other tiles. So I just want something that's going to complement. And in my opinion, those tiles that we did aren't going to stand out. If everything's busy and everything's decorated and everything's, wow, buddy, then what helps set those apart? What helps them make them pop? It's something less subtle. And that's what the purpose of this one is. So while this might seem plain and boring, it's really going to help our project. You guys may be sick of watching me do boxes and some of the same techniques, but I'm telling you, if you're following me, we're going through a process of how things evolve and how they come together. And now you may be at the point where you have some of the basics down. But now we're following color theories. We always have. But I'm trying to point and emphasize those more. Let me talk with my hands some more, huh? I'm trying to emphasize these color theories more with this project. I'm only doing 4 in this larger size. This is my largest size I do. These we're going to have to pick up off of here because I didn't think to put them on a sheet, so. Oh well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. I don't know what we're going to need. I'm going to do some little ones. Guys, we need to go through my stash of leftover tiles and just make a project where it's just all mosaics, like out of all my leftovers, without any rhyme or reason. It'll look so cool. And I keep saying we need to do that, but I really mean it. Like, that has to be something we do soon. All right, let me put those back. get another tray. These are picking up nicely. I'm not going to have an issue with losing any shape when I bake them. But seriously, if you're not good with, if you're afraid they're going to lose their shape, cut them right on your cookie sheet, your baking pan, whatever you want to call it. These are the little 6x9 ones that fit into my oven, and I just stack them on top of each other. And it actually helps when you stack them because you're flattening the tiles below. And I usually don't have a problem with my tiles warping or anything, but that's just extra insurance that they won't. Okay, so those are done. Now I'm going to go clean up my desk, and I'm going to come right back, and we're going to finish the tiles. Okay, so the last tiles we're going to do, and I was debating to even do these or not. I found this is the Makins. This is from 2015. I can't read what it says, but it kind of looks like the wings too. It's just a different pattern. This is a 5x7 one, so I won't fill my whole sheet, which is fine. Take my brayer to that, and then, oh, this is really sticking, guys. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Got it. I have a great impression, but it was a little scary there for a minute. Okay, again, I'm going to take this off of my paper, and then I'm going to put it back down so I can work with it. This Primo is so soft. Okay, so I'm going to take this tea green again. Oh, unintentionally spill it everywhere. Just kidding. It was unintentional. And then I'll probably end up using that Inca Gold over this, but we're just going to start here. Because I want a little offset, and I'm okay if it's on black, but I don't want to just use any of these green tiles or yellow tiles in there. I'm just not comfortable with that for this project. And that's just me. Do you know how different that would make this look if I put in like some wasabi? I think that's souffle color. It's beautiful. It would look fine. It's just not my intention for this project. I really want it to be mostly blue. So that's why. God, I hate those bottles. I hate them. That's why I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this. Mica powders don't usually stick to mica powders, but this one's blending in. Don't ask me why. I just got the itch to, like, it needed something else. Man, I'm glad you know who stopped barking. All right. It looks kind of cool because it's kind of like they flow into each other. I got a lot of that green in the crevices that I don't like to do, but oh well. All right. I think this one's going to be, well, we'll see. Let me see if I'm going to have a problem with these stretching. No. Okay. Okay, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8. That's enough for 2 per side. Some fillers here. Don't these look awesome? I'm glad I added the blue to them. Maybe I will do some bigger ones. I can always cut them in half. I don't have enough to do 4. But that's okay. Oh, cool. I love when a plan comes together, you guys. I love it. Those look amazing. If I don't say so myself. Which I'm sitting here talking to myself, so might as well give myself a high five now and then, right? Or an attaboy, whatever you want to say. I'm not going to have enough room on this tray, but I have another one. Alright. So here's the dealio. I'm going to go bake these. I want to get this project done because I want to get this video released for you guys because I've been... Between the wedding and getting this cold, I've just not lost focus. I've just been overwhelmed. Is that fair? I think I'm allowed to get overwhelmed once in a while. But I don't want to leave you guys hanging and think, God, she was all out there. Now she's burned out. She's not going to be back. I really have legitimate excuses. It's not like the dog ate my homework, I promise. Alright. Alright, I'm going to go bake these, y'all, and then I will come back again. Okay, guys, so I have all the tiles done. And I just have them on an old baking sheet, separated by color. So these are all the ones we did. Plus, I had some yellow gold glitter, just plain strips and some squares that I pulled just in case I need them. I am thrilled with how everything came out. I mean, look how well these go together. Oh, it's not looking right on the camera, but they do. The only thing I'm questioning a little bit is the amount of purple that I used on the gold foil. I can always go over that with wax, but I want to get them on the box before I determine that. So, and I have already sealed everything. So these are done. Now, I want to go back to the top for a minute. The last we left off is when I resined the top, and it came out like glass. It looks like ice. It is so pretty. I did go ahead and add some rhinestones. And then I had this corner that was not perfect. So I added these embellishments to the corner, and I think they look really cool. And then you can see the stickles underneath the UV resin. Aren't those awesome? It's so sparkly. You can see there's a couple bubbles in here. They're not really visible by the naked eye. I'm really zoomed in here. I got a little sloppy with my diamond diamond glaze, but it still looks cool. It looks like a little water bubble, like a 3D water bubble. So I'm very happy with the top of this. Then I also went ahead and did the legs. And I found this paint in my stash. It's Liquitex Basics Turquoise Blue. The coverage was great with this. It's a very heavy body paint. And it goes so well with this. So I painted them black. And then I painted that. And then I did something I haven't done before. I took this Pacific Coast blue that I used on the lid. And I put some on the top. Okay. So what I want to do now to get this so these can dry while we're working on the box is I want to add I was debating to use chain. This is what I usually use, but I honestly think to go with the top, I want to use, or the rhinestone chain, but I think I want to use the ball chain. I just think it's going to work better. So let me get my wire cutters. My clippers. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the diamond glaze for my glue for this. It's a little sloppier than the B7000, but it dries quicker. But the hold is great. So the first thing I want to do is measure how many I'm going to need. And that'll do it right there. Now once I have this cut, I'm going to go around again. And I'm just going to double check. Okay, it's perfect. So, then to save some time, I go in and I'm going to cut 3 more. So I have 4. Boy, this ball chain is not as easy to work with as the rhinestone chain, so pack your patience. I need to cut right. Now I can't pick it up. Jeez. And I'm sorry, I realized I was out of the camera in my last clip a little bit. Did I cut one short? So I am sorry. I'm trying to do better. I cut one short. That's okay. I will end up using that, I promise. They're slippery little suckers. Yes, okay. One more. Okay. All right, now that these are cut, we're going to add our glue. And again, do this over, just have a wax piece of paper down here. You're going to want to work quick because this stuff can run. But it dries clear. You let gravity help you. Then pull it together. It's sticking to my fingers. Okay. My plan is not coming together, y'all. All right. Never fails. Maybe we should be using the B7000. Okay, this is not going to work. This is covered in glue. I'm covered in glue. Guys, I'm not editing this out. This is real life. I'm going to cut one more of these. Sorry. But I don't want any glue slime all over my beads. Take away from some of the shine. So we're going to go back to the B7000. I do recommend getting the one that has the gold label. And it also has a precision tip. Let's try this again. This is a thicker glue with a great hold. Yeah, that already worked better. Okay. One. Just make sure you meet end to end. And don't fuss with it too much or it'll start sticking to you, just like what happened to me just a minute ago. Now I've used the diamond glaze for the rhinestones when I go around, and I haven't had a problem, but this is the first time I'm using bead chain. At least if I've used it before, it's been a long time. So it is not as easy to work with, but it sure is pretty. And you don't always have to go with the rhinestones. I know you guys are like, man, I want the bling. We have bling, and we're going to bling out the sides. We're going to add rhinestones to our tiles after they're on the box. Okay, so these are done, and I'm going to set them up here so they dry. Out of sight, out of mind for the moment. I'll try and get my cap back on here. Put that away. All right. You guys wonder why my fingers are filthy all the time. I guess I can leave these out for fillers. Put my paint away later. Okay. Now. Now my desk is wet. Oh, Molly, Molly, Molly. I just need a paper towel. Alright, guys. So, I'm going to go away and come right back, and then we're going to start working on the side of the box. Okay. So I'm back. And we're going to start doing the side here. I definitely want to use as many of these without overdoing as possible. That might be too much. And I'm going to have to cut some to fit, like, in between where it's too big to add a filler like grout. And then I'm going to file. All you need is a nail file, or you can buy these little sanders that are on my list. Pretty sure I added them. I saw somebody else had one and I had to have it. What can I say? I'm going to get something. Hold on. So I'm using these tile cutters. They're called utility cutters. And I need to cut just the end off of this one. Sometimes I'm not as straight as I could be. So I'm trying to get better at that. That fits pretty good. Okay. I didn't cut that one totally straight either. I'm sorry I'm not in the camera, but I'm doing... This is so close up. Okay. That works perfectly. That fits there. Just kind of fits here. I don't know if this is too much gold though. Here comes Billy. I just heard him jump out of my bed. John's still sleeping. It's only like 7 in the morning here. I hate that he does that. He gets on my side. And when I have a cold, I'm like, ugh, dog. I have room for another one of these. That one has a lot of purple in it. Just need to cut a sliver off of here. I wished I would have done little ones of this. I don't have any gold. Let me see something. This will fit in here. I don't really have room to add any fillers like ball chain or rhinestone. I've got one spot there. I need to file this side down. I file as I go, not as they come out of the oven, but you can do either. Because I don't know if I'm going to be cutting them and stuff, you know? I'm going to have an awkward spot here. So I don't know that I like this gold, so let me try something else. I'm not sure, but I want to just see what it looks like. I cut it a little short. Okay, I think this is gonna work. Oh, maybe I want the gold in there now. And then I can put rhinestones in here. It's a little wide for the rhinestones, but it'll still work. I think that looks good. Sorry, I didn't know what to say. I was thinking for a second. I filed this side down a little. Okay, now this is the mess I have going on over here. Okay. So, I'm trying to stay in camera, guys. I really am. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these pieces like so on my desk. This is easy to do when you have a small side like this that you're working from. And I've just replicated that on my desk. Then I'm going to take welt bond. I can't get it open, guys. Hold on. There we go. Not too much, not too little. You just got to get the right idea. And then I have a silicone brush I like to use because it's easy to clean. And just run off the sides. Just twist her around as you go. Just make sure everything has a decent coat. This is the perfect amount of glue that you want, you guys. I know sometimes I put on too much. This is perfection. Okay, so now we're just going to piece this together. And at first I just kind of lay them back into place, and then I go back and I wiggle them around to where I think they look best. And it's funny because you end up with more room. I swear they like shrink when they get glued. And you just want to make sure, first of all, your sides are square. And your tops and bottoms. I think that looks good. This is still a really big area. I think we'll fill it with rhinestones. And and I'll do stickles. Okay. Now, those should stay. You have to watch, though, because sometimes they slip and slide. Sorry. Let's just get some of these buggers in here. That's perfect for a row of, one's a little crooked, rhinestone chain in between. I have this piece, but it's not going to be long enough. Oh, it is. Look at that. I wonder. Just cutting the tip off of this one. That one came together quickly, huh? I just have to cut the top off of this. Again, I didn't need to file it because I'm cutting it off. Okay. Now I'll fast forward. Okay, guys, so all of the sides are done, with the exception of filling in some of the little spaces. Okay, so that's where I want to start now. And I've made the decision that I'm going to use ball chain, because we're going to add rhinestones to some of the tiles here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one side, and then I have to walk away and let it set up a little bit before I can flip it to the other side. So I may do those off camera. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of my diamond glaze in here. And then I've already cut this one. And I just want to get it as even as I can. It's a little help from my needle tool here. And I'm going to have extra space, and we're going to add stickles in there. It's going to look cool. Okay, so before I do the stickles, because you guys know I always stick my hand in it, we're going to add some rhinestones. Now, I'm not going to add them to these tiles here, but let me get them. I have blues, and then I have what I think I want to match the top with. Okay, and then I have this tool. This is on my Amazon list too. The tips are either pink or white, I think. All right. So we're going to bling out this one big time. Because I'm envisioning a row. It's like the Leaning Tower because you know, these uneven tiles, it doesn't lay flat. Those look pretty. And then I think we need some up here too. So I'm just going to do like a little wave, a little curve. See how that looks. Oh boy. And I think that's good for this side. Alright, so I'm going to work my way around the different sides as they dry and set up, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, so I did all the sides. I did add some blue stickles in a few places. I didn't need them everywhere. But I'm really happy with how this came out. Now, the next step is I'm going to put on my seal. So I make these in batches, and then I use hot glue, just eyeballing the center. And then we're going to put the feet on. Now guys, listen, I am aware I go back and forth with the glue. But I need to find something that works. And the Titan, this stuff works great. This is Titebond Ultimate. And it's not only waterproof, but it's cold and heat resistant. So it's really good. I feel, but it doesn't dry clear. So you really have to watch. Now, ES6000, when you first watched my very first videos, I was using this. And I'm going to go back to that method. I think this is the strongest glue that I'm going to have. I could be wrong. I don't know what the answer is. But this is what I'm going to use today. And I bought these little tubes because the big one is just too hard to work with. It doesn't have a precision tip. And it's just very difficult. So what I've done in the past, and we're going to do today, I really need to get something to set this on. Stuff's impossible to get out of stuff. I'm going around, oh crud, I'll get it. I'm going around the edges with the E6000. This does, E6000, I can't talk. It does dry clear. In the middle, I'm going to put a dab of hot glue. I don't even know that I needed that much. Now this is going to spill out. But then I like to eyeball just a little bit in from both sides. And I'm fine with this glue coming out. Can you see that? I'm fine with that. I want these legs to stay on. Nobody's looking at the bottom of this. And, you know, it's clear. All right, so that's one leg. We're done with this project. Can't wait to get it posted for you. What you don't want is the hot glue to overtake the ES6000, because then you're really going to have problems. I use the hot glue for an immediate hold. Immediate hold hot glue, E6000 permanent hold. You don't have to use the hot glue. You can put these on and then walk away from it for at least 12 hours. But it does take a full 24 to 48 to dry. This is just the messiest glue, but that's what I've got. I always work from the same corner. I try to. At least I've started doing that. It just helps me measure it a little bit more precisely where the legs are positioned. And yes, you're going to get glue strings. You can just always get them off. One more, guys. So see that? I left the middle empty for the hot glue. I'm not overdoing the hot glue. It doesn't take much. We're on. Look at that. All right, let me unplug this. Let me put the lid on the E6000. Okay. Now, you guys see the picture, and I'll put one here at the end. Not sure which way this lid goes on. Not that way. There we go. Okay. This is our box. Look at that. All right, I'll get a picture for you guys and I'll get this posted. That's the end of this video. I am starting something new, something we haven't done before, and that will be coming up. I don't know if I'm going to do it on a live or not. I might, so I can interact with getting some feedback, because it is something. The tiles aren't going to be new. We're going to do them a little differently, but it's the whole substrate that I'm going to put pieces together to build, and it ought to go interesting. So with that, I hope you have an amazing day. Don't stay away. Come back soon, and have a good one. Bye. Well, whoops. I forgot a very important part. We need to put the bling around the side. So let's do that real quick. This is the bling I'm using. I use it all the time because I haven't found a replacement that's as gorgeous as this. And this is going to look amazing. Now, I do use hot glue. So, and it's a very simple process. Now, I get enough for 2 4-inch boxes out of this and have a little bit of leftovers. So, I have an extra glue stick ready to go. Because, I mean, I'm using the mini glue gun, and so it, which I like because I have more control. I only bring out my big one when, and I want to hit the middle. I don't know which way I want to work from. Like, I haven't done this a bazillion times. But I gotta hurry, right? Darn it. Now I'm really going to have some glue strings to clean up. Okay. Once you get the first side done, the following ones are a lot easier. Get these out of here. You really don't have much wiggle room. I always use hot glue for this. I haven't had an issue with it. This is expensive trim. Just $17. I found one on Temu. Oh my gosh. And it's okay, but it's not exactly the same. So I'd rather pay more. Now, this is a big question you guys are asking me. How do you price something like this? Well, I'm going to tell you, my retail price for this is $150. My starting bid at an auction will be $95. And I won't go a penny lower than that. It's worth more than that to me. And the reason is the amount of work we put into the tiles. Some of my boxes I start at $75. I usually retail my boxes at $130, $135. And hold on, let's cut this. There's only 2 lengths. Oh man, sorry. It's a little crooked, but it's okay. It'll look fine. All right, now I can't remember what side again. I need to put something. Is it me being impatient? Here we go. Okay. Look at that. That is a pretty, pretty girl. All right, I'm going to grab pictures. Class is dismissed. See you next time.